You got brother laying on the street as I walk out of here. I'm tired of it. And I hear that bell. But do Allah God hear that bell? Because y'all day is coming. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Shepherd.
Thank you, Brother
Matthew Cardinale.
All right, hi everybody. It's me, Matthew Cardinale, news editor, AtlantaProgressiveNews.com. This is actually my first time at the committee for the new year, so Happy New Year to the committee. And I understand there's been a little bit of policy change in terms of the now former 2-minute rule, so I wanted to take the time to acknowledge the committee for taking what I think are some steps in the right direction. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Brother Muhammad and Mr. Shakur and I were actually at APS last week at the APS community meeting, and I must say y'all are actually kind of boring in comparison to APS. So a little bit, yeah. By comparison. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have copies here. Miss Winslow, if you could take one and pass this down. This is actually, I said that I would put my questions to the Beltline in writing, and so I went back and looked at the tape and kind of put these together. The background on this was from, I first raised questions at the June 15th meeting of CDHR where Beltline was here, and then they came back to talk about affordable housing on the 9th. They had a PowerPoint presentation. So the questions that you'll see here really just talk about really the unresolved questions as well as some new questions. So mostly on page 1, you just have the background of how these questions came about and the Beltline's promise to answer the questions. So let me go through these questions. The first one, why did the Beltline oppose the original BAHAB recommendation, which was to require 10% of affordable housing units in the Beltline Trust Fund funded multifamily developments at 30% AMI? Number 2, related to that, Beltline and ADA told me that James Alexander had conducted a PowerPoint presentation for BAHAB, which allegedly proved that the 30% AMI requirement would be cost prohibitive to developers. And they said that he had gone through with BAHAB a separate PowerPoint where they plugged in different variables to show that based on this cost and this revenue, a developer couldn't do it. I would like to know if they could actually run through that here for us, because I have a hard time believing that 30% AMI units cannot be done. Number 3, can the BAHAB recommendations be revisited? And relatedly, can BAHAB actually come before CDHR and give their own update as to how they feel about the progress of their recommendations and how the trust fund money is being spent, and whether they feel that their recommendations should be revisited? Now, in the PowerPoint presentation they gave in November, they said that 53% of the funds had been used for 30% AMI units, and my question is, which units? Number 6, they talk about Phoenix House. I'd like to know a little bit more about Phoenix House, and there were some discrepancies over how many units would be affordable at 30% AMI there. So I'd like more information about Phoenix House. The down payment assistance program, James Alexander also told me that 2 of the 30% AMI units were for down payment assistance for a mortgage. And what I expressed, I had a hard time believing that a mortgage payment could be affordable to someone making only 30% of AMI. So I'd like to know what is that actual mortgage payment? And what James Alexander said is that they could opt to spend more than 30% of their income on their mortgage payment. To me, that's not affordable. To HUD, that's not affordable. HUD requires not having housing cost burden. So I'd like to know how they can justify that and why they feel that that's not deceptive to call it affordable if you're really burdening people. Number 8, can the breakdown be provided for units at all income categories? Number 9, what is the progress Beltline has made on the 7 recommendations that they have made to mitigate displacement as a result of gentrification? And I have the 7 listed here. Number 10, They said that a brochure had been created, an educational campaign about existing government programs to assist at-risk residents, and I'd like a copy of that brochure. Number 11, the down payment assistance program. My question is, how is this different from the down payment assistance program that had already been offered by ADA? Does this replace that program? Is it duplicative of the program? Does it really create new affordable housing, or is it just another name and funding source? So those are the 11 questions. If anybody has questions about my questions, if you let me know. And Ms. Shepard, when do you think we could get an answer to these?
I will give you an answer at our next meeting in terms of that. I can't say at this point.
Okay. Are they giving their next quarterly in 2 weeks, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Are they? I'm not sure, to be
Okay.
honest with you. I believe they are.
Okay.
So I will be with them tomorrow, and I'll let you know. But I'll respond back to you in terms of this.
Okay. And then
I have your email.
Oh, great. And then for Kwanzaa and Natalin, should I deliver these to the council office, or should I leave them with you so that they can have copies of this?
You can deliver them to them one-on-one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.